Should we move on to zombies?
Yes, speaking of fan favorites, zombies have been crazy blowing up in the past couple of years. On Sunday, The Walking Dead had its mid-season premiere.
Yeah.
And it got great reviews. A ton of people saw it.
Yeah.
And that series is just rocking and rolling. It remains on the top of the comic list. It seems to be unstoppable.
Yeah, Walking Dead has been a really kind of a force of nature in pop culture. Mm-hmm. It has that zombie backing, which had a lot of build-up to it, which is really kind of the modern mythos monster.
Yes, it is.
Mythology monster, yeah.
Far and away. I haven't
I guess we still have vampires and stuff, modern vampires with Anne Rice and then Twilight and all that. And
yeah, but...
we have it with werewolves too, but
at the same time, you don't have, like, board games and iPhone apps like Plants vs. Zombies. You have romantic comedies with warm bodies with zombies. Like, it's so transcendent to all forms of culture that it's really unbelievable for a...
I think that's a big part of it. Actually, because how you were saying how it transcends all forms of culture. Because, we use the term zombie now.
Yeah.
But, you look in the history in cultures, every culture has some form of undead or the dead coming back to life, ghouls and drow. I have no idea what all the South American and Asian ones are, but... I know that they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that same argument can be made with, I think, other things like ghosts. But, I don't know, zombies seem to have a very apocalyptic feel to them in modern times. And, you don't hear a lot about, like, the werewolf apocalypse.
Yeah, it's... not something that could spread that quickly, and it doesn't.
Well, no, it totally could. It spreads the same way as zombies do.
It spreads the same way as zombies do.
Same with vampirism. It spreads by bite, but it's not a mindless spread, I suppose.
And the zombie, you can throw in like diseases and stuff and things that alter the mind if you're trying to add science to it or whatever.
Well, yeah, there's all sorts of different origin stories for zombies too, which is great. Mm-hmm. I guess there's the same thing with vampires and werewolves too. But no, zombies always have a very it's world-ending event.
Yes.
Yeah. Like and I don't know. You can look at it how. I know that. When it started in American culture with the Romero zombie.
Yeah, the Night of the Living Dead.
Exactly, Night of the Living Dead, and that was in the late 60s, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of the basis for modern zombies now.
Yes, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. It's especially for American zombies. I'm sure there's other re-dead, undead type monster, but the most popular zombie, the Walking Dead zombie that they use, all of those are based off of George Romero's work. Right.
Yeah. It's funny though because the Romero in the movie Night of the Living Dead, I don't think they even mentioned the word zombie. I don't think it's in there. I think Yeah, I think the news reports and stuff say ghoul, so you can see how it's really truly groundbreaking in bringing it. And zombie, I know, is like a voodoo term. I think it comes from Haiti.
Based off Haitian voodoo beliefs and the kind of American fear of these Haitian
witch doctors and stuff.
Yeah, Haitian witch doctors bringing these dead back to life and attacking them with them in just kind of like revenge for all this stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's some wacky like news stories that I think people thought were true. Yeah. They published so much crap in like the 30s and actually way before, for forever. They still do. It's funny how people ride the internet and stuff for like, they publish so much shit. So much shit on TV. Be like, you read some of these old news articles and stuff and be like, that is a total lie. That is 100% fabrication.
This has never happened and never will happen.
Yeah, right. But there was some article, something about how some lady was dead for like 30 years in Haiti and came back under the power of some voodoo witch doctor or something like that. And some other guy wrote an article, I think, about how it was a combination of like voodoo powders that caused the zombie thing to happen,
And these are like professional, official news documents.
Like, what drugs are you using that keeps someone zombified for years? Like, I'll believe 15 minutes. I'll believe 5 hours. But, like 30 years. Holy cow. Why aren't you selling that? That doesn't exist. Yeah. There are some wacky stuff in nature, though, that causes zombie-like behavior, like like fungus.
Yeah, parasites and stuff that can almost take over the body of dead organisms much larger than themselves and use them to accomplish.
Well, I've seen them even where they like infect a living organism, like infect ants or stuff like that, and cause them to change their behavior, to purpose, their own existence instead of the ants. It becomes a host. Yeah, there's like wasps, stings, and stuff like that. That'd be a good zombie origin story. It's like a wasp sting or a fungus is the cause instead of a virus. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. It'd be fun.
So, what was your kind of first experience with zombies? Because zombies seem to have grown in popularity exponentially in the last couple of years. And I don't know, before that it wasn't so prominent. My very
first, that is... Jeez. Outside of maybe weird references of just, like Halloween kind of a thing, it was probably like the first Resident Evil video game.
Yeah, of course, the Resident Evil series is very popular. Zombie fighting, killing.
Yeah, that was probably my first most in-depth, intense zombie experience. And that scared the shit out of me.
As it should.
Oh my gosh. I still remember, lights off. I did it right, Fun stuff. Yeah. Oh, man. So... Too bad that franchise kind of took a nosedive at some points. But, yeah. But overall, still a really good one. And I do enjoy those movies. But yeah, I do love The Walking Dead, the comic. Yes. Yeah, Kirkman is great. One of the best zombie in literature out there.
Yes.
I would say.
I would agree with that.
For sure. I was a real big fan of like 28 Days Later and stuff as far as films are concerned. I have to admit, full disclosure, that was with the Walking Dead TV show, I really started getting annoyed at it in the second season and have only returned in like bits and spouts, right? So I have to pay more attention to it now because, I don't know, and I think most people will agree that when they were on the farm and the TV show and the stuff they started to do there, like get that zombie out of the well and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just be like, how would any of you survive the zombie apocalypse? You are all so stupid. So stupid. It's unbelievable. And it was so different than what happened in the books.
Yeah.
That like I was kind of like angry as a fan, and And I wasn't angry because it was different. I was angry because I didn't think it was doing the series justice.
It was different, but not in a way that like helped it.
Exactly. I thought it was very hindered. I thought the character development choices they were choosing were very poor. And a lot of people will agree with me with how they decided to treat Andrea. In the show, and the people who are a fan of the comics a lot of them are pretty pissed off about that, In the comics, Andrea is a great character. In the show, she's so terrible. And I know there's different characters that are, I don't want to get too far into it, because we can talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about.
There's a whole other show about Walking Dead. Talking about Walking Dead. The Talking Dead. I mean, come on. Yeah. But I do love the book. It's great, and I like it a lot for the same way that Romero's original vision with A Night of the Living Dead was, because it's not so much about zombies, it's about the social commentary of what people do in a crisis.
Yes. Yeah, it's very much focused on the humans in this zombie story.
Yes.
Or more like a human story that just the zombies of the setting. Almost.
Yeah, exactly.
They drive the humans to
It's
action.
just an umbrella threat, essentially, And much like, it's your environment has become a threatening environment. Yeah. And that was very much, I think, Romero's message with Night of the Living Dead, with the main character, Ben, and his tragic ending. In that show, it'd be like, that was definitely racial commentary. And for the times, I mean, it was made in the late 60s. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Walking Dead, I feel that Kirkman is also definitely making a social commentary, but I think it's much more on how people respond at a very base level when push comes to shove. Is definitely part of that. I mean, the book's been going on for 130 odd issues at this point in time, so there's other things he talks about. But yeah. I do like how the overall theme, though, is always apocalyptic in nature in most of modern day zombies, And I think that helps people kind of prepare for how, the reality that society is kind of like, if we actually went without power and food and fuel for, like 12 hours, shit might really hit the fan. What would I do,
And you've touched on really two of the main the main appeals of the zombie story.
Right.
It's the humans become the main threat. It's more of a commentary on human nature in the part of a crisis. And then the second is the zombie apocalypse is an apocalypse, this world ending, but it's a survivable one.
Right, yeah.
It's a survival story. It's something that you can prepare for, and people can think, oh, what would I do in this situation, or how can I prepare? Instead of like a plague or a nuclear bomb where that's it. Like, it's an apocalypse, so you're done.
Right, yeah. I mean, and that's very much true. I think even like the CDC, no, not the CDC, that's ridiculous. FEMA, I think. Well, it might have been the CDC, who knows. Some government agency a couple of years ago even was like, here's your zombie apocalypse guide, food, water, shelter, because it's like the same stuff in any crisis. Nuclear, asteroid hitting, whatever.
It's a new way to sell it, though.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Marketing.
Exactly. It's marketing. And I think it's good for people to put that in their head. Because, I mean, me personally, I truly believe that our own existence is our own responsibility. If you expect entitlements and handouts just to survive, you're not going to make it too far in this world. That's not how it works. Yeah, I mean, I definitely love all the creature comforts that we're enjoying here today, for sure.
Half the show is comfort.
Yeah, it's all
actually
about
all of it. Let's talk.
Actually, all of it.
Really?
We're all talking about entertainment. It's fantastic.
We're coming to you through a series of ones and zeros. It's all about additional stuff we don't really need in life.
Yeah, yeah. But it is fun how these survival stories approach, what's really important, and what can truly be threatening. One thing that they haven't done, and I think it's because they're set in Florida in The Walking Dead, but what would be an issue for most people in an apocalyptic setting, zombie or otherwise, would be the weather and the seasons and stuff like that, And Kirkman did a smart choice by just ignoring that whole issue by putting it down in Atlanta.
Way too much to talk about. That's not the point of it.
Oh my gosh, that'd be way too hard.
They would die. End of story.
Exactly. Although I think it's Max Brooks in World War Z did a great job addressing a lot of that. And again, full disclosure, I didn't watch the movie. I read the book. I'm a reader. I'm sorry. I'm a reader.
Book is better than the movie.
That's what I heard. So, I hear that. I'm like, why would I want to ruin my experience? Yeah. I haven't watched the Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull or whatever that is.
Yep.
Because I like Indiana Jones.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
I was still too young and too naive to not watch that movie.
Yeah, right?